Welcome back to the Three Parallels podcast with your host, the Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, we embrace who we are, and we make room for who we're trying to become. If that's you, you're in the right place. You tapped into the right show. There are no coincidences. You are exactly where you need to be. And this month, the month of June, is Men's Mental Health Month as well as Pride Month. So shout out to the men, shout out to mental health, shout out to Pride, shout out to the LGBTQ plus community. Shout out to you all listening to me right now. Not right now, but right now. Because you could have been anywhere in the world at any point in time and you chose to be here with me. And that means the world to me. And I thank you for that. So, with that, since you are paying for your time and attention, because that's what the investment is, let me make sure you get a return on your investment. So, if we're going to dive in real quick, real fast, because I ain't got all day. Because last time I checked, it don't take all day to do nothing in this world. Nothing is now Nathaniel. Nathaniel. It's a guy named Nathaniel. Yep. That's Nathan. Nothing. And I got that terminology because we're building our own terminology part of this community from a destination helper. I was able to connect with a new destination helper who goes by the name, who I've adopted the name of Ace. So Ace told me that when you say nothing, that means Nathan. Nathan equates to Nathaniel. Nathaniel is absolutely nothing. So boom, you already got your money back. You already got your time back. You got a new term that you can use at any point in time that people that are part of this community, they know it. They know the language, they speak the language, and that's what makes us a community. That's what makes a culture. Speaking of culture, I want to talk about mine. Growing up in the Midwest, Ohio, and then spending some time in the South, Alabama, I grew up with this mindset of what masculinity is and what it isn't, what masculinity means and what it doesn't. And this mindset that I was taught and that is perpetuated throughout our society, culture, you name it. It was this idea of what it means to be a man and what it doesn't. And I held on to this belief for a long time, just like many of us hold on to beliefs for so long that they become facts even when they're not. So I want to talk about my experience of the three parallels, who I was, who I am, who I'm becoming, related to the LGBTQ plus community. So buckle up, buttercup. We finna go somewhere in the past. And in the past, I'm going to connect the dots from the past, the present, and the future, because who I am now knows that whatever thing that we believe or we think about is is an idea. The meaning we give it is what we decide. And that meaning changes when we decide. Ooh, get your journals. Okay. Every episode, I'm gonna tell you, get your journal, get something to write with. Because I'm dropping gems. I'm finna hit you in the head with a honey bun. And I need you to be prepared. If you don't have a journal, guess what? I got you. Go on Amazon. Look up the Gator Scales Journal. The Gator Scales Journal is available for you. I made it for you and for me. And it's good too. So dive into the journal to dive into you. So talking about the past, masculinity. Now, I want to talk about the current. The current discovery, like for me and all these years of life, 40 plus years of life, I've learned a lot of different things. I've connected with a lot of different people, and my beliefs and perspective have changed over the years. One of those perspectives is which is one of the biggest perspectives to me is my belief around masculinity. And I want to talk about it based off of beliefs and facts. So this episode talks about masculinity, beliefs and facts, and the LGBTQ plus community. I'm going to put it all together in real time. And I'm like Jay-Z today. One take. I didn't prep. I'm just talking. Okay. So I don't know what's gonna happen. But whatever happens is supposed to happen. This is organic. Put a Dole sticker or Chiquita banana sticker on my forehead because it's really organic. So what I learned about masculinity or femininity or anything that you can think of that's a part of the culture that you were taught and told, if you asked 100 people, let's be specific. If I asked 100 men, what does it mean to be a man? I would get 100 different definitions. I just want to talk about facts. If I asked 100 different women, what does it mean to be a woman? I would get 100 different beliefs, perspectives. Those are facts, right? So the reality is what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman is subjective. And that means it's up to you. What I also know is all of us is on a spectrum. Now, talking about a different spectrum. I ain't talking about the one I just discovered I was on yesterday. I'm talking about perspectives of life. Think about it. Anything that you do, any aspect about you, it's a spectrum. So if we're looking at masculinity, some people are more masculine than others. Some people are more feminine than others. It's a scale, it's a spectrum, bell curve. We ain't got to go to class, but think about the bell curve, right? That's how everything makes sense. So it's not one way or the other. It's not black and white. It's a lot of gray. And it's okay in the gray. And I want to challenge you to be okay in the gray because I wasn't. I was very black and white about uh, LGBTQ plus, meaning homosexuality, heterosexual. Growing up a cisgender heterosexual male, I had an identity related to what it means to be a man and what it doesn't, which was a belief that I was entitled to. But that entitlement made me feel entitled to exclude people that I didn't feel met the criteria of what it means to be a man. Not only excluding, I would be mindful of what I do, say, what I wear to prevent anyone from perceiving that I might be gay. True story. Just want to talk about it. I'm not by myself, but I'm sharing my story because this is who I was. So I was very homophobic for years. Why? Because of my ignorance. And many of us are ignorant, and ignorance is the lack of knowledge. I'm not disrespecting you. It's a lack of knowledge. And all of us have a lack of knowledge around something that we don't know nothing about, especially if we're not living it, we're not a part of it, or connected to someone who lives within that culture community. So that was me for many years. And I remember specifically in college being a proud member of the first Black Greek letter fraternity, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to the bros. Hey, Phi. Being a member of this, being a member of a fraternity, the sorority, there are stereotypes of each one. Okay. Depends on what campus, depends on where you're at, depends on the era, the whole nine. But it's just a stereotype. It's just a belief. It's just a generalization that's made by people that's a part of these organizations. Just want to talk about discrepancy. Okay. Inconsistency, incongruence. So, as a culture of Black folks, marginalized community, we can sometimes marginalize our own people by excluding people based off of who they are, who I perceive them to be, or who they need to be. I was a part of that regime as a uh, proud member of the fraternity where I felt as though I was a gatekeeper to keep gay people out. Many people were like that and are like that to this day because of the belief that I can. You ain't finna stop a gay person from being anywhere. I just want to talk about facts. Gay folks are everywhere. LGBTQ plus community is everywhere, whether you know it or not. Their fathers, their husbands, their wives, there's partners, there's so many, there's CEOs, there's engineers and professors and doctors and there's you name a person, you name a job, you name a profession, you name anything, and you can find somebody a part of the LGBTQ community kicking ass in whatever lane that is. But the belief is we can keep people out. Just like what's going on in our society in real life right now. ICE and what's going on in LA right now, same deal. The issue that we have is ignorance related to differences. Ooh, I didn't come here to preach, I came here to teach. Differences related to people and who we are, what we choose to do, how we choose to live, whatever. There's exclusion, there's chastisement, there's all the isms, sexism, racism, you name it. And we all have aspects of that throughout our lives based off of what we were taught and told. If it's not with LGBTQ, it may be related to drugs, alcohol. Although you at the line at Starbucks every morning. Facts. But you feel some kind of way about folks at the dispensary. Facts. You feel even worse for the folks at the crack house. Facts. Yeah. It's all the same. It's differences. We all have our thing. We all, if you look at drugs, alcohol, it's a coping mechanism. It's used for something that humans need. I don't want to cope. I want to feel good. I want to feel better. I don't want to feel whatever it is. I'm going to my substance. So it's a human thing that we make into a divisive thing. That's why we're in the situation that we are right now. The protests going on. It's belief, what people believe and perceive, and you have polarizing views. So being in this fraternity, I had the same polarizing views because for a lot of people in fraternities and especially fraternities, it was this hyper awareness or hypersensitivity to masculinity and this, machismo, just proving how manly you are. And the reality is it's a spectrum. And who's to say who's manly enough and who's not? You are. Every individual person. And if you got enough individuals, it becomes a collective, a group, a culture. That's what a culture is. People who have similar beliefs and ideas that's all together, and we all in holy matrimony. Welcome to the club, baby. We are part of a culture being in this family. However, sometimes we outgrow people, places, and things, which means I outgrow certain cultures. And for me, I had to outgrow the culture belief about LGBTQ plus community. Now, it was a contradiction, which many men have a contradiction related to gay. Men can't be gay, but women can. It's cool. Contradiction. It's a belief. How come women it's okay for women because you're thinking sexually, but it's not okay for men because you don't want to think sexually. I just want to talk about it. And I can talk about it because that's who I was at one point in time. So I felt I was the gatekeeper. Let's keep gay people out. I thought I was doing a great job. I was doing horrible because you can't keep nobody out of nothing that they're supposed to be in. I don't care who you are or where you are. I just want to talk about facts. So this belief that I had of who's masculine enough and who's not, I carried into the fraternity, and a lot of people that I perceived to be less than as far as masculinity didn't get in on my watch. So I hurt a lot of people. I displaced a lot of people. I had power and leverage, and I took advantage of that and hurt a lot of people along the way because of my beliefs. I'm no different from anybody else. The difference for me is we're talking about fraternity. For others, it could be a job, it could be a house, it could be money, it could be a loan, it could be a career, it could be a degree, it could be a relation, it could be a multitude of things where people are not given what they deserve because of how they're perceived. And if you know human beings, we all have a hard time not being accepted for who we are, which is why many of us wear the mask. Some of us still wear it now. Wear it well. Take that mask off at the crib. And that's for protection. That's for safety. And that's okay. And to me, I think sometimes we need to hold ourselves accountable more than what we think or perceive about other people. Let me check me. So I had an opportunity to start checking me related to the LGBTQ plus community. And I'm specifically talking about men, like black gay men. It was an issue for me because of my issue. I didn't even know it was my issue. I struggled with it because of what I was around. Everybody named mama, especially men, was telling me what it means to be a man and what it doesn't. So here's an example. And I want to tell you how ridiculous this is now, but at the time, it was law. So for me, and for many men, you would never wear anything that's perceived to be feminine. So I didn't wear a pink shirt until I was in my 30s. Yep. I didn't wear no thong sandals. I ain't painting no nails. Like it's common now. You know what I'm saying? With, especially like a lot of guys in the league or that play college ball, like they started doing it and highlighted it, and there was a lot of backlash. The backlash because of the beliefs. That's it. Like, how come this person can't paint their nails? It's a belief. How come this person can't wear pink or red or different colors? Because we use colors to identify people, from race all the way to what polish you have on, what color's your shirt, what's appropriate, what's not, dark colors versus light colors. I just want to talk about it. So for black masculine men, the perception is everything that I do has to represent this idea of who I am as a man. And that's a belief, and you're entitled to it. I like to simplify the beliefs, okay? 2 plus 2 is 5 equals a belief. 2 plus 4, 2 plus 2 equals 4 is a fact. What's the difference between these two equations? One can be proven, one cannot. And many of us believe something so long that it becomes a fact to us, even if it's not. And anytime your beliefs are challenged, the first thing you do is put your dukes up to protect what you believe. Think about religion. There's no way you're going to change your religion or shift your religion without a fight. It's not going to happen until you become exposed to different types of religion or no religion at all and you change. Think about your cousin Pookie that got locked up as a Christian. When he came out, he was a Muslim. Exposure. That was a change. Okay. May not have been Pookie, may have been John, you know. John got locked up. John came out different. in many different ways. So I share all this because I'm not alone, and many men deal with the same thing. And it wasn't until I started to attract people, places, and things based off of the being that I was becoming. And the person I was becoming was more open minded to different types of people because of the counseling profession. So when I graduated college, I was immediately thrown into the helping profession. And that's when I recognized, oh man, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, being gay is not what I thought it was. Maybe, you know, my mask of masculinity, ooh, that's a bar. My mask of masculinity, maybe it's an invisible cloak. And that's what it was for all of us. It's a belief that you're protected based off of who you are. But at any point in time, you can be exiled for being exactly who you are. Depends on the environment, depends on who you're dealing with. And that's people. So for some people, as part of LGBTQ plus community, never have a chance to be seen, heard, valued, respected, or understood. Why? Because I can't be authentically me in this environment. Why? Because people around me won't allow it. Jokes, ridicule, shade, judgment, whatever. Although we all have it. So on my journey of moving away from this belief that hurt a lot of people and hurt myself because it's exclusion, I was on a mission to understand sexuality, gender, culture, race, religion, all these things that provide polarizing views of what is and what ain't. Think about what happened with we were looking at bathrooms, sharing bathrooms, unisex bathrooms. It was a whole uproar about a bathroom where you go to relieve yourself. People ain't trying to spend a lot of time in there outside of women powdering your nose, basically talking ish. Who's trying to spend a lot of time in the bathroom? By yourself or with folks? Because anybody can walk up in there and clear the room. Who's trying to be in there? Not me. And we're worried about bathrooms. We're worried about who's playing sports and who's not. I just want to talk about it. Transgender community, you can't do this. You can't. Says who? There are no rules besides the ones we create, and we create a lot of them. That's the difference between the beach and the sandbox. Beach is this world. The sandbox are the rules, the laws, the ethics, the beliefs that we put around it to box people in. And that's not fair to them or us. So I was talking about my journey. So my beliefs related to masculinity, I started to challenge and question. And when I challenged and questioned, I could not find facts. Going back to the example I shared before related to if you ask 100 people what it means to be this or that, you will get 100 different definitions, which means that's 2 plus 2 equals 5. That's what it is. So the reason I was able to start challenging and questioning things, I had a lot of clients that came to me who were gay, who, who was interested in coming out or finally broke their truth to me. They shared with me their truth. And it shifted my perspective because my belief was being gay was a choice. You choose to be gay. You can be gay anytime you want to. I truly believe that when I was young. You can be gay and turn it on and turn it off. I'm gay today, not tomorrow. It's a lie. People aren't just out here gaying it up, like choosing to deal with the shit you got to deal with from being part of the LGBTQ plus community. Ain't nobody signing up for that. But I didn't know because I was just as ignorant as so many of us are related to differences. So the more I start connecting with people and clients and friends and family, I'm inundated with the LGBTQ community, which gave me a different perspective to look at. Because a lot of the people that I talked to shared their lived experience and their story, and it was traumatic because of people like me that they were talking about. I'm talking about the behavior because my behavior was no different than some of the people that's hurt them, which let me know how many people I hurt, which lets me know how many of us that's listening right now is hurting and hurting others because of our beliefs. So I became interested in learning more and I start researching, I start listening, I start diving in because that helps me become better as a therapist. So how can I still hold on to these homophobic beliefs with clients sharing truth with me that does not align with what I thought? And one of the biggest things that that got me was this idea of what a gay person or gay male looks like. And the clients that I work with broke those beliefs down, from professional athletes to C-suite executives, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, plenty of people that let me look at things in it from a different lens because they felt comfortable and trusted me enough to share themselves with me, non-judgment, non-bias. It's because of my job, not recognizing what my own demons I was dealing with, my own beliefs from my childhood and upbringing. So all the people that I've ever came encounter with, part of the LGBTQ plus community, educated me of what it means to be human. And then when I started humanizing, that's what changed things for me. So I had to stretch and allow myself to stretch. And one of the biggest ways that I stretched was to buy a pink shirt. I kid you not. I didn't even start with a shirt. I actually started with a tie. It was a pink and gray striped tie. And as you all know, I've been doing this every day and I will continue to do this for over the past decade. Every single day, I do something new, different, and uncomfortable. Don't matter what it is, to try to stretch, try to grow. Because once the mind expands, it never goes back to its original form. So I was intentional. I'm gonna wear this tie and see what happens. So I buy the tie. I like it. Now I've liked pink for a long time. Pink and gray, like a light gray, loved it for a long time, but prevented myself from wearing it because of my beliefs. I don't want nobody to perceive me to be gay. Like that's a stamp of the end of the life. If anything, it's a stamp of approval. Let's go. Let's go. So this belief that I had prevented me from living life authentically. And I slowly just started to get out the way by testing things to shift my beliefs and my perspectives. And it worked. And before you know it, I just started attracting more and more people that's a part of the LGBTQ plus community to make up for those I may have displaced or dismissed or gatekeep from the fraternity and beyond. Because last time I checked, there is gay people in every fraternity and sorority. Just want to talk about facts. You ain't keeping them out. Period. I don't care who you are. You may not know it. Some you do. But there's so much control that we have. But how dare I exile anybody when I'm trying to have a seat at any table that I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to eat? So pushing. It started with a tie, then I moved to the shirt, right? And I'm wearing these different things that I never wore and I'm feeling some kind of way. And then I'm looking out to see how people perceive me, not recognizing nobody gave a damn. Nobody cared what I wore. Nobody commented and said, oh man, you might be gay. Even if they did, does it matter? Facts and beliefs. So what I want to share, I've never shared before. I shared on another podcast recently, but I want to talk about it because I stretched beyond my comfort zone and decided. Usually I'll go get I call it hand detail, foot detail. Whenever I get my hands done, nails done, I call it hand detail, foot detail because that was more masculine than pedicure, manicure. That was the old me. The current me, I get a pedicure, manicure. Pedicure, manicure. I don't give a what you think about me or the name because I'm not worried about my sexuality, my identity, my masculinity, or what people think about me anymore. That's me now, capital HIM. You now, capital HER. You now, capital THEL. So if that's who I am now, I stop caring. And I stretched myself. When I went to get a pedicure and a manicure, I stretched myself and I decided, how can I push myself to be really uncomfortable right now? Number one, I usually don't get manicures and pedicures. If I do, it's twice a year. But I decided to take care of me and I went 2025. And I go in there knowing I'm going to do something wild because I want to continue to stretch and push. Now, this was the second time I actually did this in my life, within a year apart. And we're talking about recent. So I get in a chair and it's one of those, nail spas with um I can't even I don't even know the culture. I'm not even gonna butcher it. Um, but it was like family owned. So they were there, they brought me in. It's all women and me, and I don't care. And it was like, do you want polish? Do you want paint? Do you want buff? I said, give me all of it and give me those color panels. Let's see if I can pick a color. Now, before I pick the color, I just want to tell you about my change, my transition. Before I even picked the color, I went and looked online to see what athletes, what celebrity, what manly men got their hands or nails painted. I just want to tell the truth to find out, am I validated for this decision that I'm about to make? And one of the people that I saw was Shaq. Shaq got the worst feet in the world, in my humble opinion. Now, my feet aren't the best. They nice, but they ain't the best. But Shaq feet, my goodness. But Shaq don't care what you think about him or his feet or what color his toes are. Because they may be colored before you even put paint on them. Anyway, that ain't my point talking about Shaq feet. Money long like Shaq feet. Anyway, that's my ADHD coming out. Just found out about that yesterday. Because some of y'all be doing the same thing. Be in the middle of a heavy, intense conversation, jump off to a damn song. Money long like Shaq feet. Anyway, shout out to Gucci Mane. So I'm in the parlor and I said, yeah, I'm gonna try a color. And it was like, I said, yeah, let's do it. So I look at different color and I like purple. Purple is my color. Purple has always been my color for a long time. And I saw Exotic Journey. No. Mystic Journey. That was the name of the nail color, nail polish. Mystic Journey was kind of a purple. I said, let me get that. She said, you sure? I said, yes. Double down on it. Paint all 10 of these toes. I got 10 of them. Paint them up. Let's go. Let's see what happens. And I stretched and then painted my toenails. Bright red, bright purple, whatever they were. Mystic Journey is what they were called. Number 69, 65, one of them, in case you want to get yours done. This is for the men specifically, especially ones who dealing with homophobia. This for you. Okay. Good. Go get your nails done. Because the belief is by me painting my nails, that equates to me being gay. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. But I believed it just like everybody else, just like every man that you know that he ain't even doing polish. He ain't even got a pedicure yet. Feet out here looking like eagle's claws. But why wouldn't a man go get a pedicure and manicure? Because of the belief around masculinity. We don't do that. The reality is we can do that and we do that. You just don't. And that's your problem. Nobody else's because your feet look bad. Mine, nice. They soft. They purple. And I ain't turned gay yet. Now, when I first did it last year, I painted my toes. It was the most uncomfortable thing ever. And I doubled down on it. Not only painting my toes, I'm walking out here with the on sandals on and walking into the mall and grocery store just to see who gonna say something, who I'm finna bust upside the head for saying some wild shit to me. That was I came in with the boxing gloves on. Who gonna say something? And when I did it last year, guess who said something? Nobody. There's people that smile, there are people that look, but nobody said a word. Nobody gave a shit. So I did it again this year. And I doubled down, went further. I'm gonna go to my gym. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go around the most masculine men and rock these toes and see what happens. And guess what happened? Nothing. Nobody said a thing. Nobody batted an eye. Nobody broke a sweat. And day 2, day 3, I'm looking around. Am I gay yet? Because the belief is I'm gonna be gay if I'm painting my toes. You gotta be gay. Nope, didn't turn gay. I've been at it about 2 weeks now. Still ain't turned gay. Still heterosexual. Still married. Female wife, partner, 2 boys, and nothing changed. Nothing changed. And I step out my comfort zone. I do uncomfortable things to stretch my mind to become a better version of me. And I'm better now than I've ever been, especially when it comes to understanding the differences of people, humans, because we're all different in some capacity. But imagine being judged, ridiculed, shamed, killed, abused for just being different based off of something you have no control over. But if my belief is you get to choose to be gay, then you choose in that life versus I was born this way. I've loved men or women or people or all types of people my whole life. I just didn't know it. And because of the way our society set up, I wasn't given permission to do so. But I may have had a supportive parent that was all for it. Or I may have had a horrible parent that kicked me out. I'm still trying to find family. I'm still trying to find community now. Why do you think Pride Month is so great? Because people have a chance to take the mask off and connect to community, allies, advocates, ride or dies. That's why these months are so important when it comes to service, providing connection, building community. So I share this story to give you permission to step outside your comfort zone, become a better version of you. And now my caseload, more often than not, is inundated with more clients as part of the LGBTQ community or those who ain't came out yet to embrace it than not. And it just happened organically because of my interest in getting better at becoming the best version of me possible. Him, HIM, toes out here, red as all get out, and don't care and ain't turned gay yet. And guess what? I can empathize more because as a black man in these United States, people look at me a certain way, don't matter what I wear. It's the color of my skin. It's who I am and what I look like and how people perceive me. So no matter what, I'm already being judged. Let me go and throw some paint on these toes so you can judge me a little bit more. But the reality is your judgment is just an opinion, a perspective. But I'm changing generational curses by doing what I'm doing because my boys, they see their mom feet painted, nails painted. Hey, I want to do that too. And guess what's my reaction or response? All right, cool, let's do it. Let's, meaning all of us, all three of us, three men, paint our toes. And nobody batted an eye. And it was nothing. So for these boys, my two sons, they're going to grow up very differently than I did of what you can and cannot do when it comes to masculinity. Because they painted their toes, they didn't turn gay. I didn't turn gay. They didn't look at that differently. I didn't look at them differently. And now that's changing the dynamics of what they perceive when it comes to differences. We can do whatever we choose to. It's the rules that we created for ourselves or for others that prevents us from being human, prevents us from being authentic, prevents us from being human beings, doing human things. So I challenge you, step outside your comfort zone. Fellas, take it to the next level. Go get your toes painted. And if you like, hell no, I ain't doing that shit, never, ask yourself why. You ain't got to go get them painted. Go get your toes done. Go get them dogs done. Your girl been asking you for years. Tired of you scratching me, bro. There's a reason she's been keeping some distance. It's them dogs. They're the worst. I believe men feet are the worst in life. Hashtag Shack. So why wouldn't you take care of them? And the reason men don't take care of their feet is because of their belief. I'm a man. My feet supposed to be ashy. My ass and my feet supposed to be ashy. It's a belief and it's horrible, in my humble opinion. There's things that we choose to do or choose not to do because how we want to be perceived or don't want to be perceived. It's all a belief. And to me, it's a lie. I share this in hopes that you push yourself outside your comfort zone to become a better version of you, to outgrow who you once were, to embrace who you are, to make room for who you're trying to become. And I am him and I know it because I'm willing to do things that I never done before to become a version of me that did not exist before today. I share my story with confidence, with authenticity, with no fear, shame, shade, or judgment because I don't care what people think about me anymore. I had to become this version of me. Many of us, grown as shit, still are plagued by other people's opinion, perspective, and belief, especially our parents. Just want to talk about it, whether they're here or not. Some of us refuse to be who we truly are until the people that means the most to us die. Then we'll be our authentic self. My challenge to you is don't wait till somebody else leaves. Become you now by digging into you, figuring out who you are and who you are not, and living life authentically based on your own terms, within reason, within safety. Now, everybody ain't Dr. Branch. Everybody is not part of this community. All right. Don't be out in these streets wilding out. Hey, y'all, I'm gay. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Everybody not okay with it. And that's okay. Find the people who are, lean into them, protect yourself, stay safe in the streets. Everybody's not okay with who we are and our identity, but those who are, lean in. Those who can connect to this experience, lean in, dive in, do things you've never done before. because you can change an entire culture. You can change a community. You can change a generation. I'm doing it within my home. I'm doing it within a profession. I'm doing it within Black men. We are whatever we say we are. We are not whatever we say we're not. And having this toenail polish on for the past 2 weeks, I ain't turned gay yet. It's not likely to happen, ladies and gentlemen, and people. It's not likely. Okay. Again, beliefs and facts. This is the evidence. Your behavior is the evidence. So I'm no longer a homophobe, and I can't believe I used to be. But it makes sense because of my ignorance and not willing to learn more or different. So big apology to anyone that I've hurt, that I exiled, that I pushed away, that I cut off, or what anyone who felt any kind of way about me and my ignorance. I apologize sincerely. And if we're ready, if you're ready, if you want to have a conversation, let's have it. It ain't gonna be on it. It don't have to be on the air unless you wanted to. I'm cool with that too. But many of us have hurt people because of our beliefs. Now, you can take out LGBTQ and add anything that you don't feel comfortable with related to people. Same rules apply. I want you to challenge you to do better at being you by considering people outside of yourself. This has been another episode of 3 PLLs Podcast with your host, the Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, we embrace who we are, and we make room for who we're trying to become. If this episode has been a blessing to you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you know anybody can connect with it, identify with it, send it to them. Hey, I got a message for you. Hey, homophobe, dude, I got a message for you. From a guy whose toes are painted and he's heterosexual and he don't care what you think. Dr. Branch. Join us.
Three parallels. Three parallels. Three parallels.
Three Parallel Podcast. Come take this walk with me.
Who I was, who I am, who I wanna be. The journey's nothing if I don't know what I want for me. I just wanna see the growth in my mind, body, and soul moving parallel. I heard they come in threes. This is more than just hooping.